Welcome back to this channel. This is Unfiltered Forex with me, Clement, and I am here to give the weekly forecast for the week beginning July 24th. As you know, this is a big week for some big data. Let's first just look at it. On Monday, nothing much. S&P Global US Services PMI and the UK CPI, UK Manufacturing PMI. As you can see here, 45 below estimate, waiting for the S&P Global US Services PMI. This is a preliminary release. The estimate is at 54. The previous one was at 54.4. On Tuesday, we have the CB Consumer Confidence. The forecast is at 111.5. The previous one was at 109.7. And this is a consumer confidence index, so it's going to show the general expectation of the consumer, whether the consumer is expecting the economy to do good in the near future or the economy to do bad. Yeah. On Wednesday, this is where the big data starts coming in from. Building permits, new home sales. This is not the major releases we're expecting. And then there's crude oil inventories. This is big if you're trading the US oil and mostly oil pairs. And then the Federal Open Market Committee statement, the FOMC statement, the Fed interest rate decision, and the FOMC press conference. This is very important and very likely to be volatile, assuming the Fed, whatever the Fed says, whatever Jerome Powell says. Of course, this statement is what's coming first. So, what the statement says is going to move the markets. If the Fed is anticipating more rate hikes or less rate hikes, if they're going to stand firm and say it's still two more hikes, even if inflation coming down, of course, that's going to be very bullish for the dollar. Or if they're going to say we think inflation is going to come down, we might not need to raise rates by two more hikes again. That's going to be dovish and ultimately bearish for the dollar. And of course, the interest rate decision is a 25 basis points hike is what's expected right now. And the FOMC press conference. This is now where Jerome Powell will be speaking, and this is what now moves the market the most because Jerome Powell is the chairman of the Federal Reserve, and what he says is what the market is going to take seriously. I'll have to do a separate video on this event and how you can trade this in day trading. It's impossible if you don't know what you're doing, but if you know what you're doing, trading the news is very possible and very profitable because there are big moves in the market. If you watch the video on the pros and cons of fundamental analysis, by now I'm sure you know why someone like me we trade the news. On Thursday, July 27th, the Euro deposit facility rates, ECB European Central Bank interest rate decision July, and for the US core durable goods orders, GDP reading is the preliminary for Q2. This is the first one, the first reading, and then initial jobless claims, then the European Central Bank press conference, then pending home sales. On Thursday, the major releases are this one, the European Central Bank interest rate decision and durable goods orders. These are the main releases. For GDP Q2, it's not that important. Of course, when I say the ECB, I also mean the press conference is just as important as the interest rate decision itself. The GDP, yep, this is another one, preliminary. It's going to be ultimately very important if the data comes out above or below estimates by far to a certain degree. But if it's according to estimates, you shouldn't expect a lot of movements there. Another one. Let's zoom in. Yeah, that was Thursday. On Friday, Bank of Japan press conference. Then core PCE index, and then core PCE index is the month over month, and this is the year over year. Yep, this is the preferred measure of inflation by the Federal Reserve, and we are going to see how this number how inflation is doing in the whole country. Of important to note is that this Bank of Japan press conference, they usually s- don't, they usually release the rate hike or the monetary policy statement either late or too early. They are never on time. I don't know why, but yeah, that's just Japan. When they're doing these things, the Bank of Japan, they don't release their economic releases, especially this interest rate hike on time. They don't. So you're going to watch out for that. Looking at it again, recap Tuesday and no Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday are the most important days. Even Friday, yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are the most important days this week. On Monday, you can use it to monitor pairs, look at the higher time frame, and see what to expect in the coming weeks as you wait for the big releases, the FOMC press conference, and what the ECB interest rate decision, even the press conference also, and on Friday, of course, the PCE and the Bank of Japan press conference. Okay, let's go to the earnings calendar now. Here we are. This is the earnings calendar. Most anticipated earnings releases July 24th, 2023, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On Monday, which is today, you can see some big companies releasing their data. Domino's, Philips, HPT Financial. This is some banks. This is big for the US 30 in general. And coming into Tuesday and Wednesday, this is the most important days, I can say, because on Tuesday after the close, Microsoft and Alphabet are releasing their earnings. Alphabet is Google. We're expecting good numbers, especially on the AI front. These companies, Microsoft owns ChatGPT after they recently bought it. Alphabet owns Bard, Google Bard, and they recently launched it in the second quarter, of course. So you can expect good numbers here. Though that's kind of it might be hard to decide because, but you're just going to wait and see. Microsoft is very, very likely to do good in this one. On Wednesday, after the close, you're getting Meta. I'm going to talk about these big companies because these are the ones that will heavily affect the Nasdaq and the US 30 indices, especially Microsoft. As you remember, or let's just go there. Here we are. As you know, this is the NAS 100 QQQ components. As you know, these major companies, these big names you've seen me talking about in the earnings calendar, they are releasing their earnings this week, and that's big for these indices. The Nasdaq. Okay, let's look at the Nasdaq first. You can see Microsoft is releasing this week, and Meta Platforms releasing this week also, and then who is Alphabet? Yeah, Google Alphabet. So we have Alphabet, Meta, and Microsoft. They are releasing earnings this week, so that's big for these companies, this index in general. Another one. Now this is the US 30. I'm not sure if I'll get this right, but yeah, Goldman Sachs they released last week. United Health Group they released on the first Friday of this earnings season, and then Microsoft's coming out this week. McDonald's also I've seen it coming out this week. Visa also, Caterpillar, Home Depot. I'm not so sure we've seen that. Yep, here we are. As you can see, huh, this company. This is Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft is here. Another one, McDonald's. Yeah, McDonald's is here. Releasing earnings this week. Caterpillar, no. Visa, yeah. Visa is releasing earnings this week, Tuesday after the close. Another one is Boeing. Yeah, Boeing also here after the close. This is before they open on Wednesday before they open. And in general, I think those are the main ones. I am quickly skimming through this one, so I forgive me if you're not going to see all of them. Of course, there are other big companies dropping their earnings, and yeah, a part of can see Coca-Cola here. Coca-Cola, another one, 3M, yeah, 3M also, and yeah, it's just a big earnings week for these major indices, and that's what the market will be looking out for. And of course, combined with these FOMC releases, it's going to be very volatile on the Nasdaq and the US 30. And yeah, it's going to. Let's look at the Fed CME watch tool. This is where now, as you can see here, next FOMC meeting is in 2 days, 5 hours, 50 minutes, and 9 seconds. Yeah, these are the probabilities currently. The market is sure. This is just 100% sure the Fed is going to deliver a rate hike. And yeah, that's what the whole market is expecting right now. And but as you know, these are not the probabilities we're monitoring currently. The probabilities on everyone's watch list, these two rate hikes, these two more. You can see here the probability is quite low for now, and the market is expecting the Fed to raise 3 more times, 2 more hikes after this one, 2 more. We're going to see if this, how the change in probability of this last hike is what's going to really move the markets. And over here, we'll be talking about that, and you will see what's going to happen. So that's it for this one. On the charts, looking at the Nasdaq, as you can see, this is the 4 hour time frame. I think we should be looking at the daily time frame. Yeah, that's good. As you can see, the Nasdaq usually rise. It's a rise and fall trend, and this is very likely to be a retracement before the uptrend continues. See here, let's start here. It fell, went back, fell, went back. A retracement, impulse, retracement, impulse, retracement. You're going to pretty much expect another impulse here because, yeah, as you have seen, Microsoft is very likely to do good. Google are very likely to post good numbers, and the companies coming in general, the big ones, they are likely to do good and push this index up. Last week, this big decline over 2%, slightly over 2%, this was due to Tesla numbers. Tesla released good numbers, they beat estimates, but the profit margins, they were just slimmer. And that's what caused their stock to tumble, the Tesla stock to tumble, and resultantly the whole index to tumble. Let's look at the US 30. This is the US 30, and as you can see here, the price kind of just staged a breakout. This was a support, and after this forming a doubles up kind of thing, it just rallied, and here we are currently. From here now, I don't know what to expect, right? Because what I'm expecting is maybe there might be a retest before the uptrend continues, or maybe just the price continue rallying from here. It is very likely because yeah, the banking sector, the whole financial sector is quite healthy, and even the consumer defense kind of strong on this one. So it's not exactly a smart idea to be shorting this one because the environment is very bullish. The macroeconomic environment is very bullish for this index and also the Nasdaq, as you have seen. Looking at currencies now, I'll look at the euro. Yeah, here we are. This is what I had on the euro dollar, and yeah, you can see it was kind of playing in this channel, but it kind of broke out and then a retracement, and then I am expecting this bullish trend to continue. Yeah, it's very likely to continue considering that the Fed might be dovish, but let's not jump into conclusions for now. The vertical lines, as you can check the dates here, they represent the central bank meetings for both economies. The blue one is the meetings for the Euro, the ECB, European Central Banks, and the pink ones, the faint pink, faint red color, whatever you want. These represent the FOMC meetings. The faint red lines represent the FOMC meetings. So this is what I'm expecting in this coming meeting to, yeah, price to just pick up from there. But I have to look at the small time frames to see what entries. As you can see here, it's kind of making a retest. Oh my god, that's so bad. As you can see here, that's kind of price making a retest of this support, of this resistance. This resistance is now becoming a support here and very likely to shoot upwards from this point once early Tuesday and on Wednesday, of course. Going to wait for that one and see what price is going to do. With that, I think I'm done. Yeah. Can have yourself a lovely week, and yeah, see you in the next video.